You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now it's 7. Yesterday was Election Day in Kansas. We've got the results from the ballot questions in Frontenac and Riverton.
Also, data centers are a hot topic right now here in the 4 states, but experts say they're nothing new.
And we're tracking, well, let me phrase it this way. We have an alert day today, keeping an eye on strong to potentially severe thunderstorms this morning and again later today and again on Friday. We'll break it down for you coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner, and Chris Warner, and Chris Warner. We got to match the echo. Happy Wednesday. You didn't even say happy Wednesday to you all. It's March the 4th. All right. We joked, we laughed. Now we got to focus on the storms and the fog that we have across the area as well. We're going to dive right into it, starting first with a live look from the Westco camera on top of the building here. And we got the gusty winds, we've got some fog, we got clouds, we got rain, and we got thunderstorms out there too. So far, they have been behaving, but that is not necessarily going to continue to be the case. KDOT camera 69400 and see some of that fog there as well. And MoDOT camera 32nd in range line. Heavy rain falling in Joplin right now as the thunderstorms rolling through. And it is also producing quite a bit of lightning across the area. So as you're heading out, school, the bus stop, coffee, breakfast, work, whatever, you need to be extra cautious because even if these storms aren't severe in terms of getting a warning with them, that lightning's still dangerous, still deadly, and some of them still producing some small hail. They are. We've had some strong storms this morning. No severe storms as of yet, but take a look at this. Lightning counter is counting all the lightning strikes it can see. So whatever you can see on your TV is what it's counting. 225 lightning strikes. About 15 minutes ago, we were at 175. So these storms are expected to continue to build and potentially intensify, and we are looking at that possibility of some severe weather this morning. I know we haven't had a lot. Honestly, that's a good thing. We need this rain. We could do without the severe weather, but unfortunately, it's not expected to remain that way. Some of these storms will very likely begin to reach severe status here in the next hour or so. So, okay, just got something new in here, so I didn't want to mention this. So, nothing severe yet, but we've got in our area, northern Newton, northern Lawrence, Jasper, and Dade counties until 7:30. This is what's known as a significant weather advisory. I'm going to run down to that storm real quick. So what we've got is this whole complex here. These storms, significant weather advisories indicates they are just below severe limits. They're close, but they're not there yet. So we're looking at, with these storms, moving northeast at 40. We've got wind gusts to 40, which we've seen on some of the cameras in the Joplin area, and penny-size hail. So these are going to continue to roll off again to the northeast at about 40 miles an hour. And I did want to say, okay, I wanted to check. Sometimes they put certain phrasing into these saying, if you're outdoors, consider seeking shelter. Sometimes they add in the line that they have here, which is these storms may intensify. And again, Springfield's kind of seeing that as an expectation. So let's take a close look at them very quickly here. So we've got this up here by Miller. You see that those pinks and purples on there? That is where we're seeing hail. Take a look. Okay, that's a better hail return. So that light blue there, that's 1-inch size hail. So here's the deal. Our radar combines a lot of other radar data, so sometimes we can see a few things that the National Weather Service doesn't see right away, or sometimes it maybe goes a little overboard on what it can see. But 1-inch hail would be severe criteria. So that's what I'm saying. We're close to, if not almost right at, severe thunderstorm warning status for some of these. We've got this one that's east of Sarcoxy, and again, putting on the hail tracker, not seeing any hail necessarily in that zone. That's all right, though. Still some heavy rain. And then take a look at what's rolling through the Joplin area now, stretching all the way up. I mean, it goes all the way through Nashville, Jasper, Golden City. But we want to take a look, see if we're getting any kind of hail return on some of this activity. And we are to the southwest of Fidelity, so just south of 44, right there on the Newton-Jasper County line. Nothing major, so just under 1/2 inch size hail, so below severe limits. But the thing is, too, and I want to show you some of the other storms. So now Diamond, Neosho, Seneca. Diamond, Neosho are up next, just exiting Ottawa County. We head down into McDonald County, Pineville, you're on deck. Southwest City, it's just rolling out. Goodman, some heavy rain on the way. We head back to Craig County, Welch. Getting ready to get in on more thunderstorm activity. We got to watch this activity stretching all the way down into Tulsa, Claremore. We've got to watch that as it pushes into the area. This is the storm I was starting at. It was one of our first significant weather advisories for this morning. Still south of Pawnee, not showing hail on it at this point. So again, that's definitely good, but still some gusty winds, still a lot of lightning with these storms. Fort Scott, it's headed up your way. And then heavy rain back behind that, shower storms developing, more storms developing off to the west. There's a lot to keep an eye on. So I know that it's been pretty calm in terms of warnings. Let me put it to you that way. We've had a lot of lightning, a lot of thunder, and some small hail. We have not had any warnings yet. But we're reaching the point where we're going to start to see these storms intensify again, and we're going to start to reach a point where some of them will very likely reach severe status. So we got to keep a very close eye on that. And a reminder to you, now some of this, of course, impacted by rain. This is a visibility tracker, but we do have dense fog and reduced visibilities this morning, so you need to be extra cautious out there. We're going to have another look at your forecast because we're also watching Friday. We have a level 3 out of 5 risk Friday for that potential for possibly significant severe weather. Break it all down for you and keep an eye on these current storms. We'll have more for you in a few minutes. Samantha?
Thanks, Chris. Voters in 2 southeast Kansas communities head to the polls yesterday on major funding measures. Frontenac decides on a new sales tax for wastewater improvements, while the Riverton School District votes on an $8.5 million bond issue. In Frontenac, voters overwhelmingly approved a 3/4% city sales tax to help pay for a new $21 million wastewater treatment plant. The tax will generate $600,000 to $700,000 annually, keeping sewer rate increases lower for residents. The new mechanical plant is needed to replace the current lagoon system to meet state environmental requirements. And voters in the Riverton School District passed an $8.5 million bond issue for facility improvements. The money will go to safety upgrades, new roofing, plumbing, HVAC systems, and classroom modernization across district buildings. Well, a group seeking a public vote on Joplin's proposed data center site is running out of time. Last month, the City Council voted to annex and rezone 540 acres for the project. The Joplin Sustainable Technology Alliance is hoping to reverse that decision, but needs 7,000 more signatures by March 7th. While data centers raise questions about transparency and resources, experts say they're nothing new. KOAM's Kenny Foreman reports.
If you live in Joplin, there's a good chance you've at least heard the term data center being thrown around lately. But what exactly is a data center?
Data center is basically a digital infrastructure facility to house servers, computer equipments that can be used to process, store, and transmit digital information for users. So this is a very crucial infrastructure for digital life, and it has been around since digital information is present on the web.
540 acres sounds like a lot of space considering that millions can receive that information right at their fingertips. But it takes a lot of power, about 100 megawatts, just to make that possible.
That's roughly equivalent to the total electricity demand of a small city. So when a data center, a hyperscale data center connects to the grid, utilities may need new substations, new infrastructure. Transmission lines that deliver the power may require upgrades. Interconnection studies of these data centers could take years.
Though that increased energy use has many concerned, one expert from the University of Michigan says that these facilities are nothing new.
This is a very crucial infrastructure for digital life, and it has been around since digital information is present on the web, right? So even though the debate of data center has recently emerged, data center infrastructure has existed for decades.
A portion of the outcry in Joplin is over the amount of water a data center could use. Another expert from the University of California, Riverside, adds that using water to cool the system shouldn't be viewed any differently from using it for everyday life.
Water is often ignored in the public discussion. And people often think, this data using water is just bad. And that's not true, because we use water to wash our hands. That's a good thing, right? And similarly for data center, they use water to reduce the peak demand, reduce the peak cooling demand, cooling energy demand.
Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
Since the last city council meeting, there haven't been any official updates on the Wildwood Ranch proposed data center. You can watch more of the data center discussion at KOAMnewsnow.com. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up, as airstrikes continue in the Middle East, 4 of the U.S. service members killed in the conflict have been identified. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Topping World Watch, Iran state television says ceremonies will be held starting today for the country's former supreme leader, 5 days after he was killed by U.S. and Israeli military strikes. Defense Department officials say hundreds of Iranian targets have been hit since the operation began. But Iran is also striking back with drone attacks on U.S. targets in the Middle East. Yesterday, the Pentagon identified some of the American troops killed by Iranian strikes over the weekend. Bradley Blackburn has more from New York.
The Pentagon says nearly 2,000 targets have been hit since the U.S. and Israel launched strikes against Iran.
We have severely degraded Iran's air defenses and destroyed hundreds of Iran's ballistic missiles, launchers, and drones.
Iran also continues to retaliate with a drone strike near the U.S. consulate in Dubai. Sources tell CBS News that CIA sites were hit in Iraq and Saudi Arabia. This as the Pentagon released the names and pictures of 4 of the 6 U.S. service members killed over the weekend by an Iranian strike in Kuwait, including 20-year-old Sergeant Declan Cody of Iowa.
Declan had been sending us updates every 1 to 2 hours. Like, hey, everything's still good.
His family says his final phone call with his brother came hours before they were told he was killed.
I still don't fully think it's real. I just really wish I got to tell him I love him one more time.
Tuesday, President Trump gave this explanation for his decision to strike Iran while hosting the German chancellor.
We were having negotiations with these lunatics, and it was my opinion that they were going to attack first.
A new CBS News poll shows a majority of Americans say the White House has not clearly explained its goals in Iran. That sentiment was echoed by congressional Democrats after another briefing yesterday.
They do not have an end game. They do not have a justification for getting into it.
Multiple world leaders are now pushing for de-escalation in the Middle East.
Diplomatic engagement is essential to avoid a wider and deeper conflict,
as fighting between Israel and Hezbollah fighters in Lebanon also intensifies. Bradley Blackburn.
That's a look at some of today's top national stories. We'll be right back.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
All right, welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Coming up on 7:17 on this Wednesday morning. Got a lot to talk about. We've got thunderstorms rolling through the area. Again, no severe weather as of yet. But we are monitoring all of these storms very closely, because if we back this up just a smidge here, you'll see how storms, as they've rolled east, build up and intensify pretty quickly. They're still below severe limits, but we have some storms that are close to that point. So we have what's known as a significant weather advisory for, in our area, Jasper, Dade, Northern Lawrence, Northern Newton counties, because these storms are just below severe limits. They could potentially become severe. And what we've got, I can draw this out for everybody here. We have a zone approximately right in through here where there's greater lift for storm development, greater focus for storms, basically. And we'll break this down. So what we've got is any activity that's out west that pushes east into this zone is going to have the opportunity to intensify. That's where our severe threat's going to ultimately come from, is as storms out west push east into this zone that will support intensification of the activity. And that's exactly what we've seen this morning. So we've got now a pretty decent thunderstorm rolling in. Fort Scott, just west of Nevada, stretching up toward Mound City, Freedom, Butler, Appleton City. Then we get into Lamar, Golden City, another heavy thunderstorm there, another one right over Sheldon itself. We've got this thunderstorm that is now pushing along 160. It's joining 160. All this activity is lifting northeast. Rock Prairie, you are right in the thick of that there. We're stretching back Fidelity, Carthage, Diamond. You're in the middle of these heavier thunderstorms. They're rolling through, of course, all of our major highways this morning. Sarcoxy, you'll be up next. We got another storm that, again, is picking up, and see, that's what we're talking about. It's just a little shower. It's split off. Now we're getting new storm development from Galena back down toward Peoria. We got this cell that's entering Cherokee County. It came up really out of Nowata County, and you can kind of watch it right there at 617, starting by Nowata. And again, as these roll east into this more favorable environment, they're picking up in intensity. They're getting more organized. We've got this storm down by Chelsea, stretching toward Claremore to the east of Tulsa, Skiatook, Ramona, Bartlesville. We got these storms that, again, they're a ways out, but we want to keep an eye on them too, because again, they're going to reach that point where they're going to enter that zone and have that opportunity to begin to intensify. Now, while we're not expecting significant severe weather with these storms, large hail, damaging wind gusts are the primary concerns. But you can watch all of this, see all of this flare up and the new development that's taking place off that old dying thunderstorm complex. And again, the reason it's getting organized so well is because right into this zone, we've got prime setup for these thunderstorms to intensify. So we've got to watch these through the morning. I think we're still going to get a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings out there, maybe more than a couple. But again, the primary concern will be large hail. Then later today, after about 5, we have another round of strong to potentially severe thunderstorms, mainly along and south of the I-44 corridor, where we have an isolated tornado risk out there. And then we have the hail isolated and scattered, and this has been updated actually. We now have that scattered risk, so level 2 out of 5 for some damaging wind gusts with that activity. So this is what it looks like on the future track. Throughout today, scattered showers and thunderstorms, and some of them could be strong with some small hail. But the primary severe threat is now through about noon, maybe 2. Then it moves out, and then after 5, new development down here. Future track's been keeping the stronger storms off to the southeast, but as you saw in that severe weather outlook, we could get some a little further to the north. After that, by about 2 a.m., wraps up. Tomorrow, an isolated shower storm. I think most of us are dry, and we're a little warmer out there, maybe a little more sunshine, and that's going to help set the stage with these southerly winds again for new severe thunderstorms to bring in on Friday. Friday, this is midnight. We have thunderstorms, very likely strong to severe, well out to our west. They'll be entering our area very early Friday morning. Some of these could be strong to low-grade severe. Then they'll exit. Then we have to watch these little blobs. I know it doesn't look impressive on future track, but into the morning, and then again, especially as we get into the afternoon, let's say from 3 p.m. and beyond, supercell development is our new concern. And that's why for Friday, we do have a level 3 out of 5 risk across a good portion of the area. It's one of those things, not everybody will see something, but those who do, we have that potential for some significant severe weather Friday. So we want to make sure we're staying weather aware. Get the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get KOAM Plus. You can stream us anywhere, and that way you can stay ahead of that. So again, alert day today. We're still watching these storms this morning. I know they've been, again, a little on the quiet side, but in terms of warnings, we haven't had any warnings, but still something we need to keep an eye on. Upper 50s, about 70 tomorrow. Alert day Friday. We just explained why. We have that activity we need to watch. We're a little cooler this for Saturday. Showers wrapping up, and then near 80 to start the next work week. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more after this.
Today in Health Watch, the 4 states is seeing a rise in pollen count this week. Even though trees are recovering from winter, some have already started to release their pollen. In the 4 states, the allergen pollen count is going up this week, with a few trees like junipers already releasing their pollen. Dr. Ken Stewart from Kansas City University in Joplin says allergy symptoms include runny nose, itchy eyes, and sneezing. But we should monitor the symptoms in case it's something else. Well, coming up, the Grove City Council approves a development project, but some say problems will follow.
And we are tracking thunderstorms across the area. We'll have a look at your forecast when we come back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:28. I'm Samantha Walker. We're going to start off with Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
And again, we are tracking thunderstorms across the area. Again, no severe weather so far, but it is still not just a possibility, it's still a probability, to be honest, as storms continue to push through the area. Live look downtown Pittsburgh, KDOT camera, you can see showers rolling through. We've had some fog out there this morning as well. MoDOT camera, 32nd in range line. We've had heavy rain roll through the Joplin area, thunderstorms rolling through, even some small hail. Take a look at these storms, okay? I want to take this and just take a moment and back it up here. There's I was just asking why we hadn't heard thunder at the station. We've got a storm close to the station, and we just heard it. So here's the deal. While we don't have any severe warnings at this point, the lightning's still dangerous and deadly. We're heading out for work, for school, breakfast, coffee, whatever it is you may be doing. So you need to take that very seriously. You also need to stay weather aware, as these storms could become severe. So we're going back about an hour, and you can see how quickly these storms have come together, how quickly they get organized. And what we have here is a zone roughly in this area here that there's enough lift in the atmosphere to support storm intensification. And that's why these storms are intensifying as they roll to the east. And while they're still below severe limits, we still have them pushing through the area, and they're bringing heavy rain. And as you can see with the lightning counter, and bear in mind, the lightning counter is counting every lightning strike it can see on the screen. So that's on your TV from one end to the other and from top to bottom. That's 218 lightning strikes. These storms continuing to roll off to the northeast, roughly at about 40 miles an hour on average. And so what we have to watch is new development that takes place down off to the south and west that could potentially roll into this atmosphere where it could intensify. So severe weather is still a possibility. It's still something that we're going to keep an eye on. Again, fog, Pittsburgh. 0.8 of a mile. You can see where we've got dense fog. Some of this, of course, some heavy rain. It's a visibility tracker, not just fog. So we have that out there. Temperatures, while it's chilly, does not preclude the severe weather. Yesterday, we had enough warm air. We had the gusty south winds, brought in enough energy. That's why we have the storms this morning. So don't let those temperatures fool you. We're at 45, both Joplin and Pittsburgh. Slightly warmer ahead of this boundary. Well, not slightly warmer. Look at Bentonville, 66 degrees, 64 Cassville, 61 in Monette. The rest of us really holding steady into the mid-40s. Shower storms will be scattered throughout the day. A couple of strong storms will be possible, but the overall severe threat, the first round anyway, should be done by noon at the late, maybe 2 at the latest, okay? And then after about 5, we could get, and you see there, new development really along and south of I-44 where we have a renewed severe thunderstorm threat. I think the greatest risk will stay to our south and east, but some stronger severe storms will be possible through the south of I-44. The lightning just hit our building. Okay, see, now we're very aware of the thunderstorms outside. And that's what I'm saying. It's not severe, is it? But that lightning is still dangerous. I mean, we're in here, we're okay. If you're outside, you're not okay. Take it seriously. Low 50s to start the day, upper 50s, low 60s for those highs. Scattered storms, southwest winds 5 to 10. Now for Friday, we have an alert day in place there as well because we have a level 3 out of 5 risk. We have greater concerns for Friday for potentially significant severe weather. We're going to break that down for you and, of course, continue to monitor these storms and have more for you in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Thanks, Chris. Well, with 6 candidates competing for 3 at-large seats on the Joplin City Council, KLEM is launching a 3-part candidate series. We're asking candidates the same questions on the issues shaping this race. The proposed data center and annexation vote has sparked strong public reaction across Joplin. That leads us to our first question. KLEM's Blake Goley joins us from City Hall.
Election day isn't till April, but some Joplin residents want answers as to where candidates stand on the data center project. So we asked, if elected, would you support the project as approved or would you push to revisit it?
Oh, I'd do everything in my power to stop the AI data center from being built in the first place. That's what the people want and that's what I want to give them. We've seen what it does to other towns, destroys them, pushes families out of their home. I don't want to see that in my town.
That would be the voice of the people, right? So I would respect that. If they were able to raise the signatures that are required to get some further studies or whatever is necessary at that point to happen, I would support that. But not to mention, I do support the fact that they did annex and rezone the property due to the oversight and regulation aspect to the data center that could potentially move in.
I would push to make sure that all checks and balances were in place and it wouldn't cause harm to the Wildwood homeowners there. I'm not sure if people even realize that there's currently a Bitcoin data center there right now. So there's a lot of people upset, but for the last 2 years there's already a data center there with 0 regulations. I don't know if anyone's seen them. It looks horrible. But I think having it annexed in gives the city a seat at the table.
Just annexed it and rezoned it. My job moving forward, or to continue to move forward if I'm reelected, is to make sure that we're keeping those protections in place, or putting some protections in place for the citizens, right? So not just the ones that live out there, but even the citizens that live in the area. It's important that we're able to do those things, that we don't just allow the center to go in and be a disturbance or be negatively impact our city as a whole.
Being there and watching hundreds of people show up and voice an opposition, I think as a civil servant, we have to represent the people. That's what we sign up for. So hearing all the facts and the data that the people brought to the city council, it would have been a no for me. I've also been canvassing, there's a recall petition for the annexation and the rezoning to get it on the ballot for the people.
I'm a commissioner on the Planning and Zoning Board, and I actually voted no when this came to planning and zoning. I would continue to stick by my answer. I would have voted no on the data center going forward being on council. I am in favor of the citizens and the petition that they are circulating for the referendum and the moratorium.
Well, Kansas City is ready to host the Big 12 men's and women's basketball tournaments. Players will see a much different court during the conference championships, an LED glass court. It's previously only been used in NBA All-Star Game and in Europe. Kansas City prepares to host the Big 12 games. Like we said, the high-tech surface has been used only in those games. The court responds to gameplay. The three-point arc glows when shots are made and glass shatters appear on screen. The three-layer design includes glass on top, LEDs in the middle, and a special bottom layer that's easier on players' ankles and knees than traditional hardwood. Fans can interact with the court between games, playing shooting games during tournament breaks. The Big 12 women's basketball tournament begins today. Well, the Grove, Oklahoma City Council votes to approve a planned unit development which will allow an RV park, mini golf, and a swimming pool. Some neighbors in Orchard Grove are not happy with the change, citing safety concerns with crime, noise, and the potential for increased traffic. Well, that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Well, happy reunion for a Missouri family as they welcome their missing dog home after nearly a year apart. Well, welcome back. I'm joined this morning with Parker. He's an organizer of the 4-State Card Show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me on today.
Well, the 4-State Card Show is coming up, but for those who may not know what it is, can you tell us a little bit about, what is a card show?
Absolutely. Trading Card Show brings a lot of vendors from different areas and around the surrounding areas, like basketball cards, the iconic Michael Jordan cards, the iconic football cards that you may see, SpongeBob cards even. There's something for everybody out there, and I'm trying to bring that all here in town so people can get a chance to experience it.
Amazing. Do you have an estimate about how many different vendors you guys are going to have come out this year?
Absolutely. So I have almost 90 vendors with 160 total 8-foot tables.
Oh, wow.
Yes, ma'am.
And from my understanding, it's not just going to be, cars. There's also going to be food trucks, it sounds like, things like that.
Yes, ma'am. We have about 4 or 5 food trucks, I believe, coming out, and then it's free entry 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Amazing. And you also, it sounds like, have some really cool special guests coming out as well that people may not necessarily expect to see at a card show.
Yes, ma'am. Number 10 ranked UFC fighter Miranda Maverick will be here, and she'll be signing autographs and meeting fans and taking pictures. I also have Mr. Dennis Biddle, the 1953 pitcher for the Chicago American Giants.
Amazing. Now, is this your guys' first year holding the card show, or is this something you guys are trying to make a tradition here?
So we're trying to make it a tradition. December 6th was the first show. We only had 80 tables, so we've doubled our table count for this second show, and then I plan to have another one October 3rd.
Amazing. So can you tell us when and where it's going to be this year?
At the Joplin Expo, free entry 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. If you want the good deals, come early for $5 entry at 9 a.m.
Perfect. And what day is it going to be?
March 6th, Saturday.
Perfect. And if people were looking for more information,
March 7th.
This Saturday.
Yes, ma'am.
If people are looking for more information or want to see maybe some of the vendors or learn more, where can they go?
Facebook page would be a great first start, 4 States Card Show.
Perfect, and we'll make sure to get that linked on our website as well, KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, thank you so much, Parker. It sounds like it's going to be such a great time on Saturday.
It'll be a great time. Thank you.
Well, thank you. We'll be right back.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is 7:43 on this Wednesday morning. We've got thunderstorms pushing through the area. Now, again, at this point, they've all remained below severe limits, but a number of them are getting closer to severe thunderstorm warning criteria. Now, granted, I mean, look at the number of lightning strikes just within our region, 225. There's a lot of lightning with these storms, very heavy rain. We've had some small hail and gusty winds with these things. So while they may not be at severe warning criteria, they're definitely loud, they're definitely problematic, and definitely causing issues as we get our Wednesday underway. All right, let's start with what we've got new. We have this storm that's north of Mount Vernon, northwest of Mount Vernon here, approaching Miller, around La Russell, Red Oak, heading up toward Halltown, north of Stott City. It is producing some hail, and we'll put the hail scope on. You can see where that hail is. Again, just below severe limits. It says half inch estimated by the radar. Remember, the radar, this is doing estimates, okay? National Weather Service in Springfield, though, has issued a significant weather advisory, so that means it's just below severe criteria here for this storm. So nickel-size hail, wind gusts to 40. This thing's moving off to the east at 40 miles an hour. And again, they're still adding that tag of the storm may intensify to severe status, so you definitely need to pay attention. That's how we need to be with all these storms, because I want to back out just a little bit. First, you can see we have a severe thunderstorm warning outside of our area, north of I-40, but it's just that kind of that example. So what I want to back out for is to show you we have a zone approximately, this is a crude drawing, okay, but we have a zone approximately through this area here where we have what says greater lift for these storms, which means essentially they're running into an area that will allow them to intensify. That's why we have our alert day, and that's why, while we have not seen any actual severe thunderstorm warnings in our area, we're not through with it yet. All of that activity in Oklahoma and stretching back into our western counties and southeast Kansas is going to end up entering this zone, and it will have the ability to intensify, and that's why we've got to watch it. So they actually just canceled that severe thunderstorm warning in northeast Oklahoma, but again, it just goes back to what we're looking at. And I also wanted to show you a couple of things. We took some power hits here at the station. You may have noticed at home, but we've had even these little storms that they just get together very quickly. And like that one that just rolled through Joplin, it's heading up toward Carthage right now, broke off of that bigger complex and intensified on its own. Not severe, not producing hail yet, but still, it's just that sign as to how quickly everything here is developing this morning. So we'll continue to monitor these storms. Any warnings come up, of course we will certainly let you know as this all rolls through. Now, here you have a severe risk that also builds into this evening. Really, I think after about 4 or 5 o'clock along and south of I-44, where all hazards are possible, the greater concerns with the large hail and damaging wind gusts, but an isolated tornado will be possible, and we're going to show you what this looks like on future tracks. We have the potential for scattered storms across the region today. As you can see, some of us, it may stop. Our morning severe threat should ramp up by noon, maybe 2 at the latest, and then we get new development. Future track still keeping the stronger stuff to our south and east, but that's why this zone is highlighted, because some of those storms could reach into this area and they could be strong to severe through the evening. And then after about 2 a.m. Thursday, that's it with that threat. We could still get an isolated shower storm Thursday. I think for the most part we're looking to be dry, but we have south winds and sunshine, just enough building back in to allow for re-intensification, or to bring in, more energy for storms on Friday. Now here's where Friday gets even more interesting. Severe thunderstorms will be ongoing well to our west. They'll be in a decaying state early Friday as they enter our area, but some of them could still be strong to low-grade severe as they push through. Once they're done, it's these little spots. The morning doesn't look too bad, but as we get into the afternoon, we start seeing more and more, and especially after 3, of these little spots. And I know they don't look impressive on future track, but it's hinting at the potential for supercell development. And that's why we have greater concerns for Friday as compared to today. Now, our severe threat today still is something we've got to monitor. This is going to be early Friday morning with those decaying storms, a level 1 out of 5 risk for maybe some hail and damaging wind gusts. But for Friday, this is what we got to watch. It's a level 3 out of 5 for the bulk of the area. And like I said, with supercells, not everyone would necessarily see something, but those who do, those storms could potentially be significant. So we want to keep a very close eye on that. For the rest of today, upper 50s, maybe some low 60s, about 70 tomorrow, mid 70s Friday. Thunderstorms start building back in, wrapping up early Saturday, and then kick off the next work week. Temperatures pushing close to 80. We'll, of course, continue to monitor these storms. Anything pops up, we will certainly let you know. And we'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News after this.
A Missouri family lost its precious pet nearly a year ago. But just days ago, the pet's owner saw a picture of a dog on social media and immediately recognized it. Leah Wood-Moody has more on this incredible reunion story and why pet owners should never give up if they've lost an animal they love.
He was filthy and long hair, and looked like he had 3 chins with all the mats and the mats underneath.
It's hard to believe this dog is the same dog as this one. Tucker's owner, Nikki Marcus, had trouble believing it herself when a woman did this on my page a couple of weeks ago about a found dog in Kirbyville.
She wondered if he had been dumped, but he was so friendly to her, and she had a dog, and he was friendly with that dog. So she immediately posted it, and the same day she posted it, we saw it. So I was like, it just can't be. It just can't be, but I got to find out. I got to know.
Tucker looked pretty bad, but was actually in decent shape, only 1 pound lighter than when he went missing in early March of 2025.
The vet checked him out. He had no sores. He didn't lose any teeth. His mouth is good. It's just amazing. God was watching him.
The reunion ended almost a year of heartbreak. Along with being a senior dog, Tucker has seizures and wasn't in the best health, so the family was extremely worried about him.
I'm like, who's going to take care of him? He's going to have a seizure. You know, nobody's going to take care of him. I was pretty torn up.
A few months ago, they got a new puppy named Willow to fill the hole left by Tucker. Those two have quickly bonded. Nikki says they're thrilled to now be a 2-dog home. And she has a message for other people with long-lost pets to keep looking and keep posting.
I would say do not give up hope, and I would say that posting it on there on Lee's Lost and Found has been wonderful. They all care about the animals and want the animals to get back to their home.
Tucker's owner says this isn't the only traumatic experience he's had. Previously, he was accidentally run over by a car and survived that incident without a major injury. We'll be right back. This is your Wake Up recap for March 4th, your top stories to start your day. Voters in 2 Southeast Kansas communities head to the polls yesterday on major funding issues. In Frontenac, voters overwhelmingly approved a 3/4% city sales tax to help pay for a new $21 million wastewater treatment plant. The tax will generate $600,000 to $700,000 annually, keeping sewer rate increases lower for residents. And voters in the Riverton School District passed an $8.5 million bond issue for facility improvements. The money will go to safety upgrades, new roofing, plumbing, HVAC systems, and classroom modernization across district buildings. That's a check of today's Wake Up Recap.
All right, again, we are tracking thunderstorms through the area. Again, we've had storms that have been just below severe thunderstorm warning criteria, but we're getting small hail, gusty winds, frequent lightning across the area. We're continuing to watch these storms that are pushing through Barton, Jasper, Newton, McDonald counties, and then over here into parts of Dade, Lawrence counties, and even into Cedar County up around the Stockton area. And then we've got additional storms we're watching pushing into Ottawa County, coming out of Craig County, eventually to Delaware County. Again, what we've got here along, especially this complex of storms that you see right through here, they are entering a zone that, again, just getting part of it, but they're entering a zone roughly in this area that could support them intensifying. And so severe thunderstorms are still possible from now through about noon today as this activity continues to push through the area. So make sure you stay weather aware. We, of course, also are watching Friday. Now today, upper 50s, some low 60s, thunderstorms out there. Another round of strong, severe thunderstorms possible as we head after 5 o'clock, mainly along and south of I-44. We'll have some scattered showers and storms through the day today. Friday, level 3 out of 5 risk for severe weather. We're looking at the potential for some supercells. So not everyone would see storms on Friday, but those who do, it could be intense. So again, make sure you get the KOAM Skywatch weather app, KOAM Plus. You can stream us, follow us, keep up with us, and we'll keep you updated through today and again on Friday.
So important to be trying to stay informed during this time.
Absolutely. March definitely kicking off severe weather season for us, and doing so. Again, so far, it's not been bad yet, but we have those potentials, and we certainly want to keep an eye on it.
Well, today is certainly a day that you may want to stay inside and read a book. And
yes.
If you love a good book, this is the week for you because it's Read Across America Week. Schools are celebrating Read Across Joplin Week. The event, sponsored by the Joplin National Education Association, features spirit days, book swaps, and guest readers.
Now, this Thursday, the last day of the event, will feature a special DEAR, or DEAR moment, which stands for Drop Everything and Read. Organizers hope the focus on literacy becomes a tradition that highlights how reading lays out its foundation for student success. So make sure you read. Of course, if there's severe weather, maybe not drop everything, but otherwise enjoy a good book, stay inside, stay safe, and we'll be back with more news and weather at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.